Welcome to the 14th, I think, episode of the Ashes to Ashes podcast. So we're recording actually, you wouldn't know this because when I upload this, we're not recording at our usual time. We're recording a bit earlier, recording about 6 hours earlier. And it's because we have a special guest in here today, and it's Buncho. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey everyone, name's Buncho.
Hi,
Yeah.
Buncho.
Shit.
Yeah, so he's pretty on top of things. You know, he's very good at. If you're in the Discord server of the podcast, you'll notice he's always delivering the news.
Now, if I might interject, I was told this episode would be very sci-fi themed on
Yes.
account of the Israeli government. Who else? And
Yeah.
all the other stuff that's been happening.
Yeah, so let's just get right into it. The first sci-fi themed thing is some updates on the monoliths. All right, now last night a video was released by this YouTube channel called I Did a Thing, and you know there's this YouTube channel who, as their name suggests, they just do things. They do a lot of DIY projects and things like that. And these people built one of the monoliths. In fact, it's the one in our state in the Dandenong Ranges, as promotion for the YouTube comedy group Auntie Donna. Now, Sam, I know you're a big fan of Auntie Donna. What do you think about this?
Yep. I don't think that was real. I think they did the one in the Dandenongs, and they were like, "Yeah," they just took credit for.
Yeah, I agree. I think they only did the one in the Dandenongs. The other ones were done by other people who we don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to say that it was all them, I don't
You know,
think that's entirely true.
that's some Men in Black tier shit.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like, they couldn't, like, did they really have the money to go from fucking what state was it in first? Utah,
Yeah, Utah, Romania, and then
Kenya, and then wherever it is now. Like, I don't buy it, but at the same time, like, if you look at the material of these little monoliths, they aren't really anything super duper paranormal. They're just made with standard material.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say it's anything too important. It might just be like a
Hey, you said this is sci-fi.
Yeah, this is part of the sci-fi part.
Science, yes. Fiction, no.
All right, fine. It's just okay. Look, it's bordering on fiction because we don't know if aliens are
Science.
real or not. And
I
you know,
fucking love science. God.
yeah, I agree with that. Also, you know, we've got really tight lockdown laws here. There's no way they'd be able to go from like Utah to Romania to here and like get all that shit done.
Yeah.
So I do think it was just the Dandenong Ranges one they did.
Yeah, and then the other ones are probably just viral marketing. I wouldn't say it's anything
Yeah,
special.
yeah. I think we'll see that revealed
But-
soon.
But for what is the real question? But that's probably part of it anyway.
Yeah, it's got everyone, you know, thinking about it. Now, speaking of
And
aliens,
I was just about to say that.
wow, great minds think alike. All right, go ahead, Buncho.
So
Great minds think
Speaking
alike.
of
But fools seldom
aliens-
differ.
yeah, they seldom differ too. Yeah, but anyway, so the real thing that a lot of us are buzzing about now is that announcement from the Israeli guy. He said that there was like a galactic federation and shit.
Yeah, this is right. So, the Israeli, who was the head of the Space Force in Israel, he has come out saying that there is a galactic federation of aliens that have been contacting humans, but we aren't ready for them yet. Now, this is very
But
interesting.
Israel and the United States are.
But Israel and the United States, I know, right? Like, why would you choose if you wanted to talk to the best of humanity? Why would you pick the leaders of
Yeah,
Israel and the United
Why-
States? I'm not making any political statements here, but seriously,
well, like
If I had to make a choice, I would talk to New Zealand.
Hmm,
if I were to make a
Exactly.
choice, I would talk to Somalia. You know, be a great
Yeah.
idea.
yeah, New Zealand's good because no one hates New Zealand. You know,
What I think
This
is
reminds
funny
me of
about
the alien
that-
Star Trek: The Next Generation. It's called First Contact,
that's
and
cool.
it's about Riker being on an alien planet, just sort of doing a bit of recon before they can make first contact. And
How
he
would
is
the
discovered.
aliens know? Like, oh, I know what New Zealand is. and then they'd look at China and be like, "Oh, bling blong, bling blong." Like they're looking at, they see a big old blue marble, right? And they're like, "Okay, we're gonna point at somewhere on there. We're gonna go there, and we're gonna bloody chat up whoever's down there." That's what they're thinking. That's what they're
Well,
thinking up in their big old alien brains.
In this episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation,
Make it
the
quick,
alien
George.
world that the alien world that they were investigating was on the cusp of developing warp travel, and that's the general sort of area where it's like, okay, we're gonna, because they can now travel way further than they ever could before, we're gonna go in there and say, hey, here's what's going on, before they run into someone who will be less kind to them.
Cool. So what you're saying
So
is we're about to develop warp travel?
Oh, I'd hope so. I want to go to Jupiter in 8 seconds.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Thanks, Joe.
What we'll probably get is something like fucking Super Cruise from the game Elite Dangerous. If any of you ever heard of that before.
I have it. Yes.
Nice.
I like. Yes. Keep going.
Another thing about this whole conundrum is that I think it's kind of funny how Israel is the one that gets contacted, because usually like I think a good example would be IPAC, how much money they send Israel.
Like, I think
Yeah, what does
it's a
IPAC
pretty good
stand for?
assessment. Fucking like American Israeli something. I forgot,
Yeah,
but
just filling out international
basically it's an
viewers.
assistance. It's fill it with your minds. But IPAC basically is just an organization dedicated to sending Israel money and whatever else. Like, if you just get it down to its basic level. And it's funny because like that to me shows that we're under fealty of Israel. We're under their boot as opposed to us being a superpower. And I think it's a good assessment to these quote unquote aliens, if this claim is even true, that like they would contact the people in true control of one of the biggest nation states on Earth.
Yeah, now, I know, normally, when I read... Okay, so there's this political cartoonist called Stone Toss, right? When I read them normally, he smells really bad. Like, I can smell him through the screen, and he smells like he hasn't showered in weeks. But he made this one webcomic about aliens that, like, is exactly what you're talking about. I'm going to find it, hold on. It's like called, like, Take Me to Your Leader or something.
Take me to your leader, and it's just fucking the Israeli.
Yeah, that's... I found it. Okay, so I'm posting it in the Discord one right now. And this is pretty much exactly what you're describing, right, Buncho? Just wait for it to load.
Yes. That's it right there. Shalom.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just thought it was fitting that Israel were the first ones to be contacted, as to me, you would think that
Like, in the galaxy, might makes right. Like,
might makes like the strongest powers on a certain planet will be the first to be contacted, so that like if in any case the planet could either be united under that power or manipulated by the whatever aliens are contacting them for their own nefarious purposes. So
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of Big Boss's whole position in Metal Gear Solid, to create one nation state of soldiers to be a universal enemy of all nations on Earth, which he saw was like the only way of achieving, world peace, essentially. So an unending war.
yeah, it reminds me of Peace Walker, where the guy puts
Exactly.
up his fucking 2 fingers, peace.
That's his exact thing. He wanted to create out of heaven of just a nation that everyone hates, everyone who is constantly at war with, so they're not at war with each other.
No, you wonder why ISIS exists. Oh wait, no, that's just us getting killed in the fucking sandbox. Never mind.
Well, that's just a
Yep.
war that... Look, there's a reason why the war's been going on for over 20 years. People are profiting off of it.
yep, a lot of people.
That's true.
Anyway, enough about our situation. Let's talk more about these aliens.
Yeah, so the Galactic Federation has been around. I mean, people have been talking about it for years and years. Remember that Ancient Aliens guy? The guy who says
Yeah.
aliens. Like, he was one of the first people to, like, talk about it publicly, like on such a huge platform on that TV show. And he's been talking about this like a bunch of alien races that make up this galactic federation, right? You've got now I've been talking about the different alien races a lot on Discord recently, so let's just have a quick rundown of all of them. You got your
What
basic.
races are there?
All right, thank you, Sam. So you got your basic like gray aliens. They kind of look like the really stereotypical ones. They're a bit like they're thin. They've got those big eyes, and a subspecies of them is a little green men. And little green men. What more do you need to hear from that? Basically, the thing with grey aliens is they can't reproduce on their own for some reason. I don't know why. I think it's like the law behind it is they fuck themselves really bad with genetic engineering, and now they need like people to reproduce. So this is where the anal probing comes in, and basically when
So they're just like a race of cucks.
yeah, essentially yeah, when people get probed by aliens, when it's anal
I
probing.
actually have a picture of an alien right here.
All right, go ahead and send it. Who is that?
I fucking knew that would be it. I fucking knew it.
I don't know that person.
It's a reference. You wouldn't
It's Jacob, the Twiggy alien man.
Right.
Fucker.
Okay, anyways, yeah, they're actually stimulating the prostate in men or collecting eggs in women through this probing, and that is to continue their species. Now, that's the first of the three big categories I want to talk about. The second one is the reptilians. Now, this one's a really big one in the conspiracy theory scene. We all heard of them before, right? Yeah.
Mantis?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mantides.
Zoltan? I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. They're just like 7 foot tall reptilian guys who can change their face to look like anyone
This
human.
reminds me of a plot point in Star Trek Enterprise. One of the species of the Zindi is very, very heavily genetically engineered by people from the future to carry out time wars in the past.
I can't wait for my future self to come back and say, "Hey, look what I can do," and just fucking whips out like a pocket-sized alien. That's some weird shit like that.
A pocket-sized alien?
Oh.
Would that be like your companion?
Yeah, pretty much.
Flashlight.
Like, oh yeah, I engineered this. I put so much estrogen in it that it became a goddamn dwarf.
Hell yeah.
That's pretty
But
cool.
I would. Here's another thing. This whole I've recently done a bunch of research on the whole Galactic Federation of Light thing, and
yeah?
a lot of the people that post YouTube videos on and all that seem like the average. Like
The
how
schizophrenic.
like some
That's what you
don't
want to say.
yeah, schizophrenic. But like how like
They drink
the
milk
average
from sources.
yeah, but you see like you it's almost like you can see like it's like how intelligence committees put out like insane conspiracy theories to discredit actual ones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing I get from watching those videos. Like, it just seems so ridiculous seeing all these like
Well,
schizophrenic.
the term
50-year-olds.
conspiracy theorist was invented by the CIA during the Nixon.
Yeah, of
Oof,
course. But
Yeah.
I'm saying like when you look at these videos, it just really puts you off. Like you think, oh, these guys are fucking idiots. Like these guys
Yeah,
are
because it's so
fucking like
incoherent and it makes the real
it's so
conspiracy theories look bad.
yeah, and that's why I didn't really buy the whole Galactic Federation of Light thing, and I still don't. Like, I know there are aliens out there, probably, and if I were an alien race, the only reason why I'd really want to dick around with Earth would have to be either resources, which I don't think there isn't a whole lot here, and like controlling a race for my own slave. Like, if I'm like the Klingons, I want some fucking slaves. Oh yeah, look at that.
Klingons
Earth.
don't keep slaves.
I just Jesus Christ.
It's
I haven't
just
watched
an
Star Trek
example,
in
Joe.
years.
Just don't
It's
make
just an
references, man.
example.
Oh, remember
I'm
in
sorry.
Half-Life 2, the Combine's whole thing on Earth is they were just draining the oceans for the water.
Yeah, literally the only reason why the Combine went there is because of water.
Yeah, they just took all of it.
Literally the only reason.
That's like
Other than that-
the big car sequence in Half-Life 2. There's a bunch of boats in the sand and whatnot.
Oh!
Yeah, that's because the oceans have receded a bunch.
Yeah.
So it's I thought it was like the whole conquer Earth funny.
No, Earth means nothing to them.
It wasn't the funny conquer Earth, take me to your
That's why
leadership.
that's
It
why
was
this
give me your water.
give me your liver. Yeah, that's why they spent like comparatively no effort to keep it. Like, have you read Epistle 3?
No.
Well, the end of Epistle 3 was meant to be like Gordon on the Borealis, warping to the homeworld of the Combine, and it's just so incomprehensibly huge that his plan of just destroying it with the detonation of the Borealis would be like extinguishing a match on like in an ocean. It would do nothing. Comparatively,
Right.
the effort spent to keep Earth is like next to nothing.
Yeah, maybe that's how aliens feel about us.
It would not even be noticed by the higher ups that there's, this guy walking around blowing stuff up over there. They don't care.
Very interesting, Joe. Very interesting. Yeah, that's a pretty good point, Buncho. Now, another thing that I wanted to talk about today was we need to have an internet memorial for David Dees. All right, does anyone know who David Dees is?
I'm familiar with David Dees.
Yes, he made
Dees nuts.
Dees nuts. Got him. So David Dees made these very striking conspiracy theory images. Like I'll try to find a really good one. Things like this. I'm trying to look for the really famous one. There's a few really famous ones.
Fucking what? That's awesome.
Oh yeah, and this one as well. They're really known for like assaulting your senses with a lot of symbolism.
Ah, yeah, I've
Well,
seen that.
Yeah, this one's a classic.
it's symbolism in the sense that striking someone in the face with a brick is symbolism of construction.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now I have some sad news to share with all of you. David Dees has passed away.
Oh shit! Seriously? No.
Yeah, I know. We've lost the real one.
Yeah, we lost a real one already. Now where the hell am I gonna get the fucking vaccine champ checkpoints?
Exactly.
What's
This
his
must be the
image?
Illuminati's
He's with
plans.
him now.
He
Ah.
Oh
is.
yeah, he's with him now. That is true.
What a king.
This was the
Honestly,
last illustration he made.
Reopen.
So reopen. It's
Yeah.
probably linked. People getting paid because of people getting paid to spread it. Like that wouldn't be too surprising.
Yeah, I think he was saying that they're willing to risk lives just to reopen and get money. Quite an interesting point of view from Mr. Dees.
It's a turnaround because originally, like some of his coronavirus art was more like, oh yeah, it's a fucking scam. But now this is saying like, oh yeah, you're gonna kill someone if you reopen. So it's kind of like a change of pace.
Yeah. People have been really changing their mind on this coronavirus thing. I mean, like for the first, I want to say it's infancy, like early January, mid January maybe. People that like were knew about it, but it wasn't like big in the news yet. They were really panicked about it.
I flipped shit about it. I don't know what you're talking about. I saw
Yeah.
really like looking back. Like I think the Chinese government really inflated it just so they could just meme it up to other nations. Like now that you see it's not really that deadly and whatnot. Like it's deadly to people who have pre-existing health conditions, but other than that, there's like a 99.7 survival rate.
Yeah, but
So
I kind of like tasting things. So
yeah,
I'd rather not.
I like tasting things. We all do.
We
Yeah.
all do.
I'd
Yeah.
rather not get it if I can avoid it, you know?
Oh yeah, like it's
Me
kind of like the
too.
flu.
It's like
It
getting a
basically
parking
is the
ticket. It's
flu.
not the end of the world, but still, probably not very good.
Not being
But,
able to
like-
taste and smell things would be rubbish.
Yeah.
The scary thing about it is like if you have like older parents or relatives, if they get it, it could be the end of them. Like I have a grandfather, he's still kicking. He has stage 4 lung cancer and
Damn.
like my mom, my dad, when we all everyone the whole family got together for fucking
Well,
Thanksgiving.
in the wise words of Terry A. Davis.
Well, hey, Buncho wasn't finished yet.
Yeah. Anyway, we all got here to go Thanksgiving. We all had to sit in like particular, like we all sit in little family pods. Like you'd have me and like my immediate family sitting at one table, and then you'd have some of the other relatives sitting in another, etc., just so it doesn't spread. Which, like, I thought it was kind of ridiculous, but at the same time, my grandpa was there, so it was a good measure.
I'm gonna
for
say
him.
something.
What are you gonna say,
I'm
John?
gonna say something. Oh my god. I hate Christmas. It sucks. I don't know why people still do it.
Filthy atheist.
No,
You're
it's not.
probably
It's
a
not even
Santa
that.
denier
It's
too.
it's not a religious holiday anymore.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
yeah, I agree with that.
It's just
It's
I mean, yeah.
annoying.
popularized not as a religious holiday, but
Do you think it's popular because it's a
traditionally,
religious
I feel
holiday?
no. I'm saying it's
It's popular because people get
No,
because children get stuff. They don't have to give
I'm
stuff back.
saying I'm saying it's popularized as a non-religious holiday, but like I personally
And
celebrate it.
think, why is it popularized?
It's
Who
popular.
has an incentive to popularize it?
Oh,
Like, what,
fucking
kids,
here we
I guess?
go.
But what I'm saying is
People keep shilling this crap.
I
It's like, buy our stuff and give it to your family. Keep buying our stuff. I don't want it.
Heard all this
Go
stuff a
away.
million times
well, then
before.
don't. Like, I personally don't celebrate. Like, I celebrate Christmas in two facets. One is the religious thing, where mainly it's just celebrating the birth of Christ.
It wasn't even on the 25th.
Like, I don't even know. Fuck it. Like, whatever, man. It's just tradition within my family and whatnot. And then the other half is just average Christmas, like you just described, like people getting free shit. And
Here's the
frankly,
thing.
that part isn't really that. It kind of kills the meaning of Christmas. But you know what?
It's pretty crap for me because my family doesn't know who I am. So whatever I get is just, it's not stuff that I want or ever would want. Because everything that I would want, I would get for myself. And I don't know what they want either. So they don't want what I'm giving them. I don't want what they're giving me. So why do we bother?
Food.
Yeah, one thing I'd like to add to this is here is another layer to this that I don't hear getting talked about much. Have you noticed how much they play up the whole Grinch thing every year? There's like another whole social aspect to it, right? If you don't enjoy Christmas, you are the scum of the earth.
If you do not consume, you are the Grinch, and
I was
exactly, and you're a Scrooge and everything bad. That's like the other part to it. That's like the social aspect they've reinforced through all these like songs and movies and shit, saying you need to consume or else your friends won't like you.
That's literally every form of media these days. Consume or die.
How twisted is
I
that?
want to be I want to be a Grunch. He looks pretty sharp.
Oh yeah, it's one from
yeah, he does. Yeah. Yeah, so you bring up some very valid points. I'd also like to talk about how ridiculous Santa deniers are. You know, Santa Claus, because he's very obviously real, but like I can't believe there are still people who deny him.
My friend works at a nuclear facility, and they have a radar there. And every Christmas, there's a little blip that comes up. Like there's a little random blip that goes over. See, and then suddenly, all of a sudden, just disappears.
Yeah, how do you explain that?
Exactly. You know, how do Santa deniers explain the radar they have on the internet that tracks him?
Yeah, NORAD tracks Santa.
NORAD tracks him. Like I don't trust the government usually, but NORAD's had a okay run of
Big
it.
Boss believes in Santa. Why don't you?
Oh yeah, Big Boss does believe in Santa.
Yeah, exactly. You know, that's just if you're a Santa denier, you're not welcome on our podcast.
No, yeah. If you deny Santa, what are the chances you deny the Holocaust? You know.
Exactly. We just can't have this rampant skepticism.
I would actually rather have coal than most things.
I'd rather have coal than the ashes of a Jew. Jesus Christ.
Because
just
like
thought that joke
last
out.
Christmas, I got like a gamer shirt, and I was like, yeah, okay.
Can you
I
show
wouldn't
us?
have
Did it
bought
say
this, no.
gamer? Did it say gamer on it?
Basically, like
Nice.
my family knows a caricature of me, but they don't know what I like at all.
The caricature of you as the gamer, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's all. That's the extent of their knowledge. I don't
Wow.
even like video games that much.
And you just like talking about them.
Yeah, incessantly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, alright, yeah.
And that's the tale of the Christmas Cretin.
The Christmas Cretin, the Grunch.
The
Thoth
grunch,
himself.
indeed. You know what else is pretty paranormal?
Mm.
I'm just trying to look for it right now. Hold on. Oh,
Watch
right.
Curly's
Yeah,
asshole.
yeah. No, there is something. Did anyone hear about the new infection in India?
Oh yeah,
Uh,
the new infection.
2?
I don't
Contaminated
really.
water.
I personally don't think it's good. It's like I don't think it's really too paranormal. I just think it's like another bioweapon they're throwing out to basically.
Yeah, that's paranormal
shit,
enough to me.
If even gets that bad.
I mean, they all drank from the same water source, so it's pretty like
They all shit in the
Whatever.
same street. You gotta put that in
This
perspective.
reminds me of an episode of Star Trek: Next Generation called "Thine Own Self," when Data is sent to a pre-industrial society to retrieve the wreckage of an asteroid of a satellite, a probe that had radioactive material in it, and they didn't want the society to discover the radioactive material because it would cause harm. And while he's there, I guess he gets struck by lightning or something because he loses his memory, and then he doesn't remember what radioactive means or what the radioactive material is. So the guy who finds him and helps him just sells it to like this blacksmith or silversmith to make jewelry out of it. And then the entire town gets sick and gets cancer, and then Data leaves after being stabbed.
How is that real? What does that add to our topic?
It poisoned the water supply there with radiation, and then they got sick.
Shut up.
Yeah, sorry, I gotta agree with Sam on this one.
Just shut up. How you said it, man.
Yeah. Yeah, mystery illness. We don't know what it is. It's not COVID, apparently. And
It's
300.
not COVID-19, it's COVID-20.
It's COVID
you telling me
21, guys.
you telling me to shut up reminds me of an episode of Star Trek: Next Generation called "Future
God
Imperfect." When
fucking
Riker's
damn it.
Muted.
Enough of the new generation. I don't even like that one.
Yeah. Oh, that's gonna make him mad. That's gonna make him real mad. Anyways, that and there was one more thing I was really adamant to talk about. I'm just trying to think about what it was. Besides the Indian infection. Forget it, Buncho. Why don't you tell us about that thing you posted this morning? Forgot where it was.
Yeah. Fucking, what are you talking about this morning?
For you, it would have been at around 7:30 p.m.
Yeah, the thread about
Michigan
that
crash.
in Michigan.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah. So recently, I was on another server of mine. Some guy posts this, and he says like, "Hey, there's like this big old happening. Like apparently some mysterious craft or something, some sort of radioactive thing crashed into fucking Michigan." And like they had a bunch, there was a bunch of stuff like there was vocaroos of radio chatters saying like,
I mean,
"Ow!" Yeah, like someone said like, "Ow, it hurts" over it or something like that. I can get
Michigan
it
is a
for you.
pre-industrial society, so
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like, there's like a bunch of weird shit going on. Like there were EOD teams. There was some really mysterious fucking Men in Black looking guy, and then there's like a bunch of and like OP, the guy who originally posted said there were SF on scene, but I don't think those were, it was SF. But hey, you're never sure. I'm gonna go post these vocaroos and have you guys have a listen
well,
for
I
yourself.
mean,
All right.
I'm typically.
Holy shit.
Oh goddamn!
All right. So this one's called "Still
Like-
Can't Locate Pilot via Transponders."
Yeah.
The United States
this
military
is-
has nuclear-powered planes.
Yeah, but like, all right. So let me continue on this whole why this situation is abnormal, paranormal even. God forbid. But basically, there was little to no like residue from from the crash. There was no like debris from the main site it crashed in apparently, and it made a big old crater for some reason. Like apparently there's some. It appears to be a huge crater, as I said, like right over here. He said by some boomer cop, and he asked what they were looking for aircraft parts, and no one says anything to him. Like planes don't make big craters, man.
Probably because he's some boomer cop. And it's Michigan, so
can't you just fucking enjoy something for once?
Look,
I'm so sick of people being like,
it wasn't actually a UFO. It was actually like a weather balloon or a satellite.
I am
Yes, swamp gas and weather
That's
balloons.
the reason why the paranormal community is shooting, man. Come on, let's have some fun here. But the situation's really suspicious though, because
Yeah,
like
it
when a
really
plane
is.
crashes, it's a big old crater.
Depends how fast they're going.
Yeah, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab myself something to drink.
And quite famously, airline fuel is pretty explosive.
But it still can't melt steel beams.
Well, I mean, not by the temperature alone, but it doesn't help that a plane crashed into it.
Ah, true. True. Anyways, I remember what I was going to talk about now. So now that we're
there's a
making
difference between melting and becoming deformed by temperature.
Now that we're making Ashes to Ashes gaming a thing, because I made it through No Nut November. By the way, Sam, you still get to claim your episode without Joe when you're ready.
Did I agree to that? I thought I was gonna do something else.
Oh, what else do you want it to be?
I don't know. I forgot now.
All right, whatever. Think of something. You'll get a reward anyway. Have you heard of this new game called Phasmophobia?
I've been meaning to get it.
Yeah, it looks really damn good. Like, not graphically. Graphically, it looks just kind of like a mix between The Very Organized Thief and like a Source game. But
I love The Very Organized Thief. It's the best horror game I've ever played.
yeah,
because it doesn't have jump scares.
Yeah, Phasmophobia is like this game where you play as paranormal investigators, right? And you go into houses, and it's got like now the really cool thing about it is it's got like microphone activity or something. Oh no, I was watching F4, a streamer that has been on our podcast before, play it last night, and basically like you speak into the microphone to actually like get the ghost to respond and stuff. And they got like a spirit box and a Ouija board, and you can like play around with those things. Looks super cool. So yeah, we have to get that. It's like multiplayer, so we can get all four of us on it. Do co-op. We should also do Left 4 Dead too. I think that would be good.
You just see a figure in the distance scream, "Fuck off!" That's how you deal with bears.
What?
Damn, bro, you got the whole podcast laughing. Yeah, all right. Well, look, I think that's about all we have to talk about today. So I'll just wait for Buncho to come back with his drink, and then we can just wrap up the episode. It's lasted for a good 35 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no Kirby this week because a friend's at her house. So funny about that.
Nothing really.
And then yeah, I also invited a few others to this Discord chat. Asphyxia. Do you know who that is? It's Devin. Just thought I should let you know that.
Hello.
Hi, Buncho. So we're just talking about how we're going to wrap up the episode.
You're gonna do what?
Wrap up the episode, like finish it up.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
No, all good. Sometimes my accent can be hard to understand.
Like I just misheard you in general. It was just your accent.
Oh yeah. Well, anyways, before we sign off, Buncho, have you heard of the game Phasmophobia?
Oh yeah, Phasmophobia. I have it. I played it with my friends recently.
Oh, was it good?
It's pretty fun. Like if you like it's not too complex. Frankly, I don't really want it to be. It's a fun game to play with friends, and you basically just hunt ghosts and shit.
Yeah.
They like smudge sticks and all that, so I think it's pretty neat.
Yeah, that is cool. Alright, this has been the 14th episode, I think, of the Ashes to Ashes podcast. You know, we've had Buncho, Thomas Mill, Kajora, and myself on it. We'll catch you on the flip side. Hope you enjoyed.